What's cooking, Juventus fans? Welcome back to your old lady's favorite YouTube channel. Obviously, today we have plenty to talk about. Lots of updates, lots of speculation when it comes to the Mercado. Big topics we didn't talk about Pogba and then Di Maria. We may have a big update for you, so stick around for that one, as well as what's the situation going on with Molina and the different aspects of the Mercado. And Ligt, what's going on with him? Stick with us. We'll fill you in. Ciao ragazzi, welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone. My name is Justin Sofro. Today, it's Sunday, June 5th, 2022, and of course I got your latest rundown of all things Juventus, all the news you care about each and every day. Before we get into it though, make sure you smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon to stay notified for all of our latest videos. I do want to make sure I am harping on this though, and I know you all don't love it, but again, hit the like button. It really does help. I'm not going to go into a long spiel today. Just please hit the like button. It makes a big difference. It helps with the algorithm. If you like the videos here, hit the like button. All right, let's continue and let's get into it. What news do we have for today? Let's open it up talking about the defense, and we're going to go with Juan C for first up to bat, I guess. And that's Romeo Grassi talking about Juan Cuadrado and his future with the club. He says, I am firmly convinced that Juan Cuadrado will not be sold during this transfer period. The player is highly appreciated by the coach and management. This kind of, it's funny, with all the contradictions we have in the reports here lately. Romeo Grassi kind of comes in to kind of hush things up when it comes to, we're talking about the moves, about potentially Juan Cuadrado, Arriva Bene not being happy with him, not wanting to go along with the 2 years at a little bit of a lower wage for Juventus. Now it looks like, hey, you can find another place somewhere else. Romeo Grassi's coming back in and saying, no, I think he's going to stay for another year. So we'll see what happens there. The one thing I will say is, if we're being honest with ourselves and we're being honest with Juan Cuadrado, his performance as of late has been fairly disappointing. If he's going to keep that up, if he's going to keep playing like he did last season, that's not going to be good enough for Juve if they want to compete at the highest level, especially if you want to win a Scudetto. So he better get his bleeping gear and get going and be ready to perform if he is going to still be with the club next season. Let's move it on, though, and let's talk about a player that could be coming in to take that spot for Juan Cuadrado whenever he does end up leaving. And then, of course, we're talking about Molina at Udinese. We have Tuttosport reporting saying that Molina warms up for Juventus. Negotiations are advancing for Udinese's 1998 class joker. Did they mean to say class joker? Is that Tuttosport? Did you mean that? Or is it just a weird translation? Anyway, continuing on, who is destined to become Cuadrado's heir sooner or later. The agreement between the two clubs is not there yet, but the parties are getting closer. And above all, there is a common will to reach the white smoke. So definitely right now we have obviously the hottest names, or of course Pogba and Di Maria, and they seem to be the ones that could be the earliest, soonest. Here we goes, but keep your eye on Molina. He could be the next one up. That's three men in this new Mercado. Where else could we go from there? Anyway, that's how the situation sits for now. Now let's move it on, though, and let's talk about actually another defender in his situation. That's, of course, a big story. You want to talk about Matthias de Ligt. Well, he had some comments talking about his future with Juventus, with the program overall. De Ligt says, talks are currently being held, and when the time comes, I will decide whether to extend or to look elsewhere. I always look at what is best for myself in terms of the sporting project. Twice a fourth place in a row is not good enough. We will have to make progress. Juventus is always a club that wants and needs to be champion. Personally, this is my best year so far. In terms of playing time and the way I've played, whether I am the main man at the back, the club did say to me that I have shown this season, through injuries to Giorgio Chiellini and Leonardo Bonucci, that what I am capable of, I had to take charge in what went well. I do think that is the next step. Positives and negatives there. He leaves it a bit open there to interpretation of what his future does mean at the club. He doesn't say, hey, I am Juventus through and through. He says anything but that. What he says is 2 seasons of this, 2 seasons of lackluster performances, 2 seasons of finishing in 4th place, 2 seasons, a season of no trophies, and a season with 2 trophies last season. It's not good enough for Juve, especially when you're not winning the Scudetto and you're not moving past 16th place or 16, the round of 16 in the UCL. And I understand that, and I get that. That's what you want to hear from your guy, right? The guy that you potentially are going to want to be the captain for Juventus in the future. But Juventus have to do their best, and the management has to do their best to get them the proper pieces, and the coach has to do his Much better than what we've seen Allegri do to put together a team that's actually going to be able to go out there and win and do their part to be as good as Matthias de Ligt is doing out there on the field. So we'll see what happens with Matthias de Ligt. We'll see if he ends up staying and renewing with the club. But we have a second part to this, so let's go ahead and move on to that. We also had Alfredo Padula, who's commenting on the situation about Matthias de Ligt's renewal, and said that de Ligt earns 11 million net per season. To think that he would accept 7 to 8 million euros in that night, as Juve would like, and at a much lower clause, that was just fantasy. There will be another meeting soon to understand any margin. So let's not get ahead of ourselves. Matthias de Ligt is not all but certain, but that's not the term I'm trying to go with. Let's say this. His future is anything but certain when it comes to if he will remain at Juventus, but hopefully he's leaning towards staying with the Bianconeri. All right, let's continue on, though. Let's talk about some other defenders that could line up alongside Matthias de Ligt and give him a little bit of assistance there, especially given Chiellini's departure, and then just overall the poor quality that we've had recently. Tuttosport are reporting on this, saying that Juventus are pressing for Koulibaly, who will not renew with Napoli. Given that it will be difficult to find an agreement with the Azzurri immediately, Cherubini has a double plan. So first off, if the negotiation does not go through in these months, it would be wait a season and then sign him for free. So you give him at 0 for free next season, just wait it out, wait till his contract expires. The other option, which is trying to work with Napoli, work with the trash man De Laurentiis, if you will, says the second hypothesis is to include Demiral in the operation for the Senegalese. The alternatives remain Gabriel, Guardiol, and Milinkovic and Igor as well. So, again, obviously Koulibaly would be a solid get. They would be an amazing, fantastic get for the club to end up landing him. We'll continue to monitor this and update you every step of the way as we have more information, as more information comes out right now. But again, right now we're still waiting to see what really transpires in any kind of negotiations with De Laurentiis. So I'm not excited about that. I think poorly of those prospects, so we'll see. All right. I don't know what happened with this one. I don't know. I can't tell you what happened with this graphic. Anyway, I'll throw this out there. Sporting FC are basically interested in the goalkeeper of Israel. I have no idea what happened. Something disappeared here, and it's not showing up. So we'll see. Let's make sure. Okay, the other ones are good. This one's a mess. So anyway, this is the fun of the show. No idea what happened with this graphic. Anyway, Israel, the goalkeeper Juventus have right now, Sporting FC are interested in him, potentially bringing him to Juventus. There's a talk about like €1 million option. We'll see what happens. We'll keep that monitored for right now. But again, we'll see what Juventus do. They may want to end up having a buyback clause with him too. That was a mess. I don't know, guys. But anyway, we appreciate you guys for being here. All right, let's continue on. Next up, we'll actually talk about it. You'll actually be able to see this graphic, and that is of Rabiot. So first up, we have Gazzetta dello Sport talking about his future, what's going to happen with him. And I tend to say these are good or horrific news, depending on if you're a Rabiot fan or if you're me. So anyway, the first maneuvers are about to begin between Juventus and Rabiot to see whether or not their paths will part. The Juventus club is planning to schedule a meeting with Veronique Rabiot, who directly manages her son's interests. The idea is to analyze offers from the Premier League. Alternatively, the club will try to renew the contract on different conditions than the current salary. What? Oh, what was that second part? I'm sorry. I think I must have misread. I must have misheard myself when I was reading that. What was that second part? That a renewal is a possibility for Rabiot? Are you certain? Are you sure? Are you high? You want to renew Rabiot? You want to renew Rabiot? See how high my voice can get. What? No, thank you. Please, no. Insert. I need one. Eventually, we'll see. I'll admit the Michael Scott. No, that's me right now. That is exactly how I feel. That's an Office reference. Maybe that might be too old for some people now that are on here. That's all I had to say. No thanks on Rabiot. Okay, the second part of it, though, is a little bit more pleasing to me. La Repubblica are reporting that Manchester United would be ready to shell out €20 million to bring in Rabiot. Okay, all right. We'll see. Not going to get my hopes up. €20 million to get him out of here? Hell yeah, sign me up, boy. Anyway, that's all I can really say about that. Get Rabiot out of here. I don't want to see him. I'm done with it. All right, let's move on. I understand he's had some decent defensive performing games, but overall he's just No. All right. No. Okay, let's continue. Now we got to talk about Fajoli, his situation. Could he make a stride there in the midfield for Juventus this upcoming season? Well, we have a report. Giovanni Albanese with Gazzetta dello Sport saying that a summit at the Catenaccio between Juventus and Fajoli's entourage is expected to take place in the coming days. Perhaps not decisive, but fundamental in giving a precise direction to the... I don't know why, guys. This is a personal pet peeve of mine. I hate it with a passion. Giving a precise direction to the boy's future. He's not a boy. He's a grown ass man. Can we stop calling footballers boys? Can we stop doing this? This is my personal pet peeve. I know other people probably don't care. It has weird connotations. I don't like it. He's a man. Call him a man. He may be younger than most, but he's an adult male. He's not under 18. He's not a child. Don't call him a boy. Can we do that? Can we all agree to do this? This is my soapbox. I will die on this hill. And I might actually die on this hill. I might get taken down for this take. But it bothers me to no end. I'm going to change it. Direction to the man's future. There we go. At the moment, the most accredited projection points the spotlight on 2026, but above all on staying with the Bianconeri team and the squad available to Max Allegri. Alternatively, the midfielder could spend another year on loan. Cremonese have already made it known that they want to keep him. Atalanta and Empoli have also moved in his tracks, while other clubs remain at the window. At the moment, however, Juve's idea seems to be in line with that of the player and his entourage. After Chiesa and Locatelli, Fajoli could be the new player in the rejuvenation process that the club has been carrying out for a while. There we go. So anyway, I got off my soapbox. I'm still stuck on that. But anyway, that's what it looks like right now. It seems lately that it's been moving more and more toward the possibility of Fajoli actually joining the first team and actually being a part of it, and actually being him and Medetti together being a part of it. That would interest me. I'd like to see if he actually does. If not, there's no shortage of suitors that are looking toward him. So obviously, if he were to go to another club and kind of take off and shine in Serie A, it would be a big disappointment for the club. Again, I don't know. I had a feeling before, it felt like Juventus weren't really leaning into him or believing in him in the future. But right now, it looks like they might give him a shot. So we'll see what happens. That should make the Fajoli fanboys, if you will, happy. All right, let's continue on. Talk about another youth product for Juventus and what's going to happen with his situation. I don't know what I just said. It was word salad. But Romeo Gresti is reporting that Mattias Sule's agent, Martin Costa, I don't know why I tried to read that, is in Italy. He will meet Juventus soon to discuss the future of the Argentinian winger, who has received many bids from Serie A and Serie B clubs. He can be sold on loan. So we'll see right now. For a while there, it appeared that Sule was going to be promised an important role with the club, especially given how Argentina quickly snatched him up so that way Italy couldn't call him up for the Azzurri, for the actual national team. But right now it seems that not so certain that he'll end up getting a lot of playing time. We'll continue on and talk about Romeo Gresti, with Juventus said, Sule on loan, in my opinion, no. Also because if he were to leave, you'd have to make 4 signings for the offensive department. So it seems like he actually will end up staying because they want to end up keeping him somewhere in the rotation, but obviously near the back end of it. All right, let's continue on and get to some of the big money names. And these are the big money names that may be really the reason that you tuned in here, but we had to tease you a little bit before we gave it to you. All right, that's going to get cut by Davide. All right, Tutto Sport giving you an update on Pogba, the situation, basically everything but the confirmation, right? Pogba calls his turn in, the frequent contacts with friends, to whom he announced his return to Juventus. Real Madrid is not interested in the Frenchman, who has accepted the Bianconero technical project and a 7.5 to 8 million euro plus bonus salary, waiting for the official announcement. So, breaking news, there's no news. That's our new edition of Breaking News, No News. Pogba is all but done, but they haven't announced it. We can't do the here we go yet. We can't celebrate it. And then also Fabrizio Romano, with a bit of his own version of this, says that Juventus have scheduled new direct contacts for Paul Pogba. Negotiations ongoing to discuss details of the contract after long-term deal proposal worth €8 million per season, net as guaranteed salary plus add-on. So there you go. More of the new news, same as the old news. We'll say that. Continue on. Was this a hoax yesterday? The Zaniolo topic, the Zaniolo explosion, everything that read the Big Z energy in Juventus were a real story of potentially coming together. Well, Romeo Grassi says not so fast, my friends. You guys will celebrate. I will sit here and I'll be patiently waiting. I'll be patiently waiting in the wings. Anyway, he says that in December, Juventus had met Vigarelli, Zaniolo's agent. Then they dropped him a bit. I don't see any meat on the fire yet. Zaniolo and Berardi seem to me like names to fill out the pages when you don't know what to talk about. And taking a shot at other journalists. All the ones that were commenting on Zaniolo. So, then he says on Zaniolo, there is also Milan confirmed. So we know Milan are definitely interested in Zaniolo, but we'll see what happens here. We do know Zaniolo is a Juventus fan, but Romeo Grassi is basically shutting it down, saying, maybe you guys don't need to worry about it. Maybe all of you that are upset about the Zaniolo train, maybe it's not as real as some journalists try to make you believe, and maybe they're just trying to fill time and fill writing spaces because they got nothing else to do. We'll see. I don't know. There's been a little bit more to me with the reports about Zaniolo than there were other things. I'm not questioning Agresti in this situation, just like I don't question him in other situations. But at the same time, there's been more of a repeated pattern that we followed that I don't know if I think it's a non-story. Let's just say that. But let's get on to some good news. And the good news is something to keep an eye on and keep updated on this channel throughout this week is Romeo Grassi talking about the Di Maria situation, to which he says, as of tomorrow, I have been confirmed by people close to Angel Di Maria that there will be contact with Juventus. Through common sense, an agreement can be reached. That means tomorrow, keep it locked in at the Bianconeri Zone. We could have a here we go situation where we break down what's happening with the club, him coming in here, what he's going to do in changing for the club, the better, not really the worse, but the better. And then also we'll air some of our concerns potentially. So keep an eye out. We could have that Here We Go live finally happening tomorrow. So make sure you stay tuned to the Bianconeri Zone. All right. And then the last news story of the day, talking about the strikers for Juventus, who they could be going for, what's the situation there. Fabiana Della Valle with Gazzetta dello Sport reporting saying that Juventus follows Simeone affair with interest. Hellas Verona has the possibility of buying back the Cholito for €12 million and then selling him for a higher sum. But without buyers, the buyback will not happen. Atletico Madrid do not want to concede any discounts on the sum agreed last summer for the sale of Morata, also backed by €28 million offer from Arsenal. The old lady, who wants to spend a maximum around €15 million, could divert that sum to the purchase of Simeone. Hellas Verona's dragging force in the season just ended. So there's your latest bit. I guess right now it's, if Alvaro Morata, we touched on this a little bit yesterday. Alvaro Morata, if he doesn't end up coming down to a lower price because of Atletico Madrid, if they don't end up willing to sell him for less, then Juventus could look at Simeone, who is another option for the club. I also wonder how this plays into the hand of, what about Raspadori? The Raspadori Jets seem to have cooled a little bit. What's going on with him? Is he counted as the striker's position, or is he just intrinsically tied to the fate of Moise Kean? That's where I ask. But anyway, that could be a situation. What do you think about Simeone? Do you think he'd be a good player for Juventus to bring in case things don't work out with Alvaro Morata? And then, of course, there's Muriel as well. Stick with us. We'll keep you updated. That will do it, though, for today's edition of the news. A little bit of updates there, here and there. Pogba, no news, but there's the news. The same news that's been for the last, 3 weeks. And then Di Maria, though, we could have that Here We Go. So make sure you stay tuned in to the Bianconeri Zone each and every step of the way. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below and all the news that we talked about. If you haven't already, make sure you follow Bianconeri Zone at Bianconeri Zone, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Make sure you follow me at Justin Sofro on Twitter too. Hit the like button, smash that subscribe button. We'll see you guys next time. Forza Juve, Forza Bianconeri.